Welcome back, everybody. Friday morning show, final half hour of the week. Before we get out of here for, well, it's not going to be a relaxing weekend. We got a busy one coming up here over the next couple days, obviously, with rounds 2 and 3 of the draft, which get going at 6 o'clock tonight, and then rounds 4 through 7 will start tomorrow at 11 a.m. And tomorrow we'll have our radar going off, because that's when we think for the rest of the FCS, there might be a handful, less than a handful, maybe 2 tonight, but majority of maybe FCS guys that could come off the board as early as tomorrow. David Walker is a guy to keep an eye on, which he's the Buck Buchanan winner from Central Arkansas. If you remember the Bison football game against UCA in 2023, I believe he blew past Mason Miller to get to Cam Miller for a sack. That's one of the guys you want to keep an eye on, and we'll give you the full list of guys coming up before we say so long. But we have our next guest ready to rock and roll, and as I mentioned, what a last 18 hours for Bison football. They got a first-round pick in the NFL draft and then added another commit for the class of 2026 out of one of their favorite states, out of Wisconsin. Jack Wilson announced this morning that he's going to play for the Bison in 2026, part of their class that keeps growing by the day. And he joins us here this morning on what I have to imagine has been a pretty electric last few hours. Congratulations. Tell me, what's the last couple hours of school been like?
It's been great. It's been fun. A lot of people telling me congrats and everything, but no, it's definitely been exciting, and I'm just really grateful for the opportunity.
All right, your high school, Mount Horb's pretty darn good. You got a guy that's coming up here already, your teammate, and Chris Keel is going to be up here in June. What about NDSU? What stood out to you and say, this is the place for me?
I mean, as soon as I got there, I was met with just some great coaches for dinner, and following day, I just had a fantastic visit, and they really made me feel at home. And I loved all the coaches. I loved the location. I loved the facilities, and it just felt right to me.
What did Chris give you any inside tips of what to expect, or did he tip you off on anything from his trip up here?
A little bit. He's actually up there right now on his official.
Okay.
But yeah, he definitely has helped me through the recruiting process as well, just because, I mean, we're pretty good friends and he's been through it all. And so, yeah, he gave me some tips, kind of who to contact originally with coaches and stuff and who to follow. But no, it's great. I'm excited to play with him.
Tell me about, Jack, the decision to make it now. Was it just the time felt right? Did you have a timeline? Did you want to maybe get it done before your senior year, or just was this the time felt I'm going to do it now?
Yeah, so originally I had planned to commit before my senior year. I was kind of anticipating it be more July, honestly. But I mean, I got up to North Dakota State and had a great time, and coaches didn't pressure me to commit at all, but it felt like the right spot for me. And I knew after being there that that's where I wanted to play the next 4 or 5 years.
We're watching video of you making tackles for loss as a linebacker. Tell me about what kind of linebacker you are and what appeals to you about playing that spot.
So I play middle backer. I'm definitely a more physical downhill linebacker. I like to get my nose in things and make plays. But yeah, I think I have a good football IQ. I think I'm pretty smart on the field, and I fly to the ball. You're never going to have to question my effort. So
when in your mind did Division I football become a reality? When was it a game practice or someone's like a conversation? When did it start to click for you that, okay, this is going to happen, or I can play at that level?
Yeah. So, I mean, I think every kid when they're young wants to be a Division I football player. So that's ultimately when the desire to play at this level started. I really think the moment was my freshman year. I had a really good year playing running back and started getting some attention on Twitter and stuff like that. And that's kind of when I started gaining traction and was like, okay, this goal is definitely in reach. And then just sophomore year, and from then on, just kind of put my head down, kept working, kept trying to do the right things, and ended up here.
Describe the conversation you had with Coach Polisek to tell him you were going to commit.
Oh, it was great. I had originally been on the phone. I FaceTimed Coach Olson just prior to that, and we were talking, and then I called up Coach Polisek and told him that I'm ready to commit and ready to become a Bison, and he was just hyped up. Said it made his night. And we kind of chatted a little bit about the class, and I think this 2026 class is looking really good, and it's going to be a heck of a class.
There's already a handful of guys, Jack, from Wisconsin. Do you know any of them? Have you got a chance to exchange messages with them since this all went? I know it just went down a couple hours ago.
Yeah, I haven't in my class yet. I know of them. I know Tucker Thyman committed. So I've reached out to him, and I have talked to some of the other kids, Chris, obviously, and then Marion Moore out of Memorial.
Yep.
So that's been so far. I've had a lot of outreach from either like current players and commits too on Instagram and stuff and Twitter. So that's been nice to feel welcomed.
You got to tell me about your high school team, man, because you got at least 3, maybe 4 Division I guys, because I know your quarterback's going to go play at North Dakota. Tell me about your upcoming fall year. You guys got to think you got a pretty good team.
Oh, man, I'm so excited. I think I mean, it's always the goal to win a state championship, and the past few years we've just came so close. But I mean, this year it's the goal, and it's definitely in reach. So we're just going to have great senior leadership and work together as a team. I mean, not only is it the senior class, we've also got some great juniors and sophomores that are gonna have huge roles in our team this year. And then obviously Brooks going to North Dakota. That's awesome. I was super pumped for him. And then we've got a couple other kids who are still trying to figure out where they're going to end up, but all have really, really good talent and definitely are capable of playing at a really high level. So I think with the leadership and the team aspect of it and just putting our heads down and working harder than other schools, I think it's going to be a really, really fun year.
Have you and Brooks Hendrickson we're talking about, who's your quarterback, has the trash talking started yet, that he's going to UND and you're going to NDSU?
No, not yet. I haven't been able to talk to him yet today. I haven't seen him in class, but he's congratulated me, but there definitely will be some. There definitely will be.
For people up here, Jack, that don't know about your high school, tell us about why is Mount Horb so football crazy? What's made it so good through the years?
I think it really started out with our head coach, and then just the senior leadership in the class of, I believe it was 2021. And we honestly, before that, the program was really struggling. We kind of shifted the culture from being winning is awesome and like it's not going to happen all the time, but when it does, that's great, to it's expected. And like winning is the expectation. So it's kind of been more of a shift in mentality, so to speak, from liking to win more to just hating to lose.
I have to ask, is being living in Wisconsin, your high school nickname is the Vikings? How well does that go over in Packer country?
Yeah, I mean, there's not too much ruckus about it, but yeah, definitely don't like the Minnesota Vikings as much. Definitely a Packer fan.
You know where you're going, though. There's a bunch of Viking fans up. There's plenty of Packer fans, but there's a lot of Viking fans up here.
I've talked to the coaches about it.
Because Coach Olson's a diehard Viking fan. I'm sure he told you that, correct?
Got to stick with Coach Gazer, I guess.
Last thing, to see what happened last night, to see North Dakota State get a first-round pick in the NFL draft, I know your decision was probably already made, but to see that, what does that do to either reaffirm your decision or say, you know what, this is the spot I really wanted to go to?
I mean, that was huge. I was watching the draft with some of my buddies, and I saw him go 18th to the Seahawks. It was earlier than I expected, but I knew he was a first rounder. But I mean, that was awesome. So congratulations to him. And I mean, NDSU is just known for it, putting guys in the NFL. And I mean, Packers got Christian Watson.
Yep.
it's just great history of that. And so that was also a huge thing for me. I think everyone's goal is to continue playing and keep playing at a higher level. So, I mean, that was obviously just awesome to see.
You celebrating tonight? You have plans to go out to eat, to celebrate with family? What are you doing to celebrate this?
Today, not much. I have school and then a track meet, but definitely I'll do something over the weekend for it. Probably go out to a nice dinner
there
or
you
something
go.
like that.
That sounds good. I really appreciate the time. Congratulations on making this a done deal. Thanks so much for doing this. Stay healthy, and we'll talk again down the road, okay?
Yeah, for sure. Thank you so much for having me.
Jack Wilson, Mount Horb, Wisconsin. He is the latest commit for the Bison class of 2026, announcing earlier today that he's coming to North Dakota State to play football for the fall of 2026. The Bison now up to 9 guys in that class. So it's motoring here, and we're in April 25th. Summer might be kind of quiet on the recruiting front. Might be talking about 2027 more than 26, which I think for the head football coach, he's okay with that. We'll break. We come back. We'll get you ready for what you expect out of the draft tonight and set you up for a dynamite sports weekend. Hot Mike will wrap on WDAY Extra right after this.